Hello and welcome back to Kaiserreich. I think I'll send some volunteers to the Pacific States of America. Feels like the logical faction to support given that we are liberalish, democratic people. We no like syndicalismo, but also we no like dictatorismo. It's not, that's Spanglish at its finest. Alright, we're gonna try to crush this little pocket of resistance. Because I think it's probably not gonna be that well defended. See also the fact that it's badly defended. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna McFreaking lose it. I could use some more. So this is Dubai? How bad is it in Dubai? It's not good. It's bad. Yeah. As much as it's nice to have, like, deputies and stuff. I don't know if that's feasible. Alright. Trouble in Dubai! Tensions have been rising in the Sheikhdom of Dubai. In the Persian Gulf, as the catastrophic collapse of the pearl trades caused massive shockwaves in the small city, Nakhawads, captains of pearl fishing boats, are forced to stay in port year-round as competition with synthetic pearl originating in Japan has saturated the market. Already smaller pie due to the global economic catastrophe. Furthermore, the monopoly and power of the Sheikh has given rise to a reform movement calling, if not for its outright abdication, at least the installment of democratic body in the form of a Majlis. Under threat from a supposed assassination plot by a group of local merchants, disgruntled princes, and expatriates, the Ottoman fleet has dispatched a small vessel to the Trucial coast to deter any open aggression against the Sheikh, but tensions have only further escalated, with the ruler and his supporters entrenched on the Bur Dubai side of the creek and his opponents on the other side of the Yera. It seems the whole Sheikhdom is spoiling for a fight. Sporadic gunfighter has been reportedly heard in the city, and meddlers in neighboring Sheikdoms are seemingly looking for a chance to pounce and back their horse in the fight to come. We're going to force the Sheikh to concede. You know, as much as this is bad, like, yeah, I went back and forth on this, but I think that I basically need to do. Hit him with the ham slam. Be like, no, you need to back down. Lay down the law. Sheesh, McGeesh. Alright. Okay. The power of pan-Islamism. Harkening back to the origins of Islam itself, the idea of pan-Islamism was brought to the forefront by Ottoman sultans in the late 18th century to exert influence over Muslim subjects of the Tsar and to provide metaphorical glue to the citizens of the Porte. As the Kaiser saw the Porte as the ultimate ally to weaponize Islam and pointed at his rivals, Germans focused their effort in the Ottoman Empire, developing and spreading the ideology and hoped bringing it to completion when the war with the French broke out once more, unleashing hordes of angry Muslims. German estimates were talking hundreds of millions of rebels rising in unison. A circle of Orientalist figures close to the Kaiser saw one key figure in the entire plan, the Sultan Caliph of the Ottoman Empire. Through German influence in Turkish statecraft and the education of the new elite, centered primarily on the armed forces, the Caliph adopted it as his own, anxious to rein in disloyal elements. After the fall of Abdulhamid II, in the 1908 revolution, with the ascendance of a new regime that wished to pursue a more secular path, the Germans did not give up, and the reality of the situation started to sink in. As the reality of the situation started to sink in, the CB ultimately started to pursue an openly Islamic ideology. War arrived on the shore of the Dardanelles in 1915. The call for jihad was launched shortly after, to little success. The grand romantic scheme of the Kaiser, in which through his puppet caliph he would be able to unleash an unstoppable tide in his enemies, bore little fruits. The idea wasn't forgotten, however, rather doubled down upon, as through the network set up by von Oppenheimer, an associate to various schools, forums and teachers were sent out to all corners of the world to awaken a spirit of resistance and solidarity for the caliph. The largest success story of pan-Islamism can be found among the Muslim subjects of the Mashriq, as it ensured a degree of loyalty to the Sultan throughout the Weltkrieg that would likely have been greatly reduced of the effort of various Islamist groups. This has brought with it, however, a large price, as promoting Muslim solidarity makes it harder to secularize the state and limit the influence of the faith on matters of state. Furthermore, Islamist rhetoric spread to Egypt after the end of the war, where the young nation found fertile ground to develop its ideas. It was necessary to use them against both Sultan and Kaiser. Disturbing. You do not like to see it. Unless you're a specific variety of Muslim, in which case you do. If you're any other variety of Muslim, or Christian, or Jewish, or Buddhist, or atheist, then you don't like to see it. This is the nature of the beast. Alright, we have arrived in... Oh dear. We're facing the Southron hordes. Not so good. Our commanders are kind of mid. I mean, I guess I'll try to rush Denver. I don't exactly feel like I'm going to meet with incredible success. Let's move to Salt Lake City. Come on, man. Mongolian the Moklik. I'm going to focus my efforts on Bulgaria. Alright, second place agenda chosen. Delegates from all over Mid-European states, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we get more Civ factories, which, like, give it to me. Nah, I don't really think I need to add much to this. Alright, here's what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to get rid of all of this, and we're just going to push north instead. I think we actually don't gain a lot from what's going on here. Alright, Hungarians are beaten, no surprises here. I guess. I mean, I'm just gonna keep rushing forward, why not? Oh, we have mutants we can press. Oh dear. Here's the thing, that doesn't do anything, because we already have all the support we need. We may need to butter up the conservatives. Like a lot. We got specialized desert regiments at the least. Okay, what do the conservatives want? Repeal the unification decree. What's the repeal the unification decree? Oh, this thing. Nah. What are the Turkish nationalists doing? They're... like... yeah, I don't think I did this in the right order. I don't think we're doing that good of a job. I could always use... well... it's like a right order to do this, and I'm not doing it in the right order. It's a pretty terrible buff. Multi-level democracy, sure. Camel wrestling for the Air Force. Amazing. As the economic depression caused by the Black Monday crisis has taken a heavy toll on our empire, the budget for our military has also seen a significant decrease. In order to make up for some of the losses, the Ottoman National Aviation League has decided to host a fundraiser in the shape of a spectacular camel wrestling championship the likes Anatolia have never seen before. Based on Turkish traditions over 2,300 years old, in the Turkish form of camel wrestling, two male Tulu camels wrestle, typically in response to a female camel in heat being led before them. The camels fight using their necks as leverage to force their opponent to fall down. A camel is declared the winner if his competitor falls to the ground or flees from the fight. The practice regarded as backward, many in the OHF, and severe cruelty by animal rights supporters, the Turk Okalari have applauded the initiative, calling it a grand celebration of Turkic culture. Turkish culture made the best camel win. We got random fighters. Okay. I mean, okay. Romania has capitulated. Excellent work. Good work, lads. We, may have neglected everything else, though. So, let's go dash back to Sofia. That currently the Germans are holding by themselves. Italian Civil War resumes. Okay, lots of capitulations. Almost. We need to go defend Sofia. Assassination of who? Of the Peruvian president, Sanchez Cerro. Peruvian president Sanchez Cerro was shot. That's no good. Oh, it's the ARPA thing again. Enver Bey Cigarettes takeover. Founded in 1909, the German-based cigarette company Enver Bey was handed over to the state monopoly on tobacco today. The company, which derives its name from the infamous Enver Pasha, decided to continue operations but changed its name, further announcing new brands and varieties to the trusted Ottoman product. The company is only a small player in the Ottoman German market, the main producer being the Yindizi factory in Dresden. The sale marks another point in the constantly developing friendship between the Ottoman and German business interests. Huzzah! Okay. Fall of Delhi. As the war in India continues to develop. No comment. Right, we have regained control of Sofia. I think we're in decent shape, all things considered. What we want to do is just push for Belgrade as much as we can. Because we're gonna. This is urban, so we'll leave you here. And then we'll just bum rush with the rest of our guys. One unit is not a ton of units to deal with. Smoke and fire, I think. I don't know, flexible organization is not bad. I actually don't know if it's bad or not. Victory Death, evidently also pretty good. Let's take Smoke and Fire. Okay. Reorganization of the Vilayat law. Based on ideas of Tanzimat reformers during the late 19th century with special credit to Midhat Pasha, the old Ilyat system was replaced by a system based on Vilayats, Sanjaks, and Khazars to mediate issues raised by the minorities that these didn't represent the groups to the fullest. Each of these provincial levels is accompanied by an administrative council to assist the walis and kamiakams. In practice, however, the solution would do little, as combination of corruption, incompetence, and wide reliance on the Vilayats for instructions from the capital would lead to a wide variety of issues, making them mostly ineffective. In an attempt to combat the inefficiency and increase the input of regular citizens in the governing of their immediate surroundings, the consuls on the Vilayat level will be expanded to full regional parliaments, which will serve under the federal government to have the power and ethno-religious diversity required to effectively cater to the issues posed by the Vilayat. Furthermore, the Sanjak, much better than the idea for just like having different law for different citizens. You have the same law for everyone, but you divide things in a state by, you federalize it. Furthermore, the Sanjak level will be abolished to avoid unnecessary administrative bloat. It may be reinstated in specific vilayats if the provincial assembly deems necessary. The wali, or governor, will be democratically elected amongst the people of Vilayat and confirmed in his position by the sultan through irade. Elections for the provincial assembly and the wali will be held every 4 years in between two federal elections. A leap towards the future. Since we have like full support from the Arab nationalists, you know, not much of a point in that. I mean, radio propaganda is something. It's not much, but it's something. We do have a parliamentary support issue. See, we don't have enough mans. Interesting. Yeah, we don't have enough sauce for that. I think I probably screwed up. That's fine. It happens. Wowzers. Military purge. Hmm. Huh. I'm just reading through these. Interesting. I'm going to renovate the Sublime Porte. Aha! That's how we do it. We loosen the tax burden. Yeah, there we go. We can get conservative. This is how we get deputies, by the way. Turkish nationalists. Turkish nationalists. Alright, cool. We have an answer to our problems. Which is tax cuts. I mean, it tracks, I suppose. We're gonna fall back, fall back. Oh boy. Engineering company? Sure. Can I just bum rush Belgrade? Oh my gosh. Central Asia, populated by Kazakhs, or Kyrgyz, as the Russians call them, has been under firm Russian control since the end of the Civil War. The more southerly Turkish states were left with their independence thanks for their help. As a thanks for the help they provided against the Bolsheviks, the Russians were too invested in the valuable Kazakh territory, let it go. Continued colonization of the region led to massive instability, starvation, and tens of thousands of Kazakh refugees fleeing in neighboring states. Now, a delegation of Kazakh representatives approached the Ottoman government, pleading for assistance. They're certain the matter will come to a revolt. One was with the hope of success, only with international support and recognition. Sure, you can have some covert assistance. That is bold. Provisions for the elections for the provincial assemblies. Whilst the old administrative councils for the vilayets already had elections, many are in disagreement with the rules imposed on possible candidates. Only males 30 or older have paid a sum of 150 in direct, this is piastres, in direct yearly taxes and spoke the Ottoman language considered to be the position, had to be selected by an electoral commission. This commission made up of the Kazda Maduru, the Qadi, the Mufti, the Imam, Kazda scribes, religious scholars of non-Muslim residents. They presented a list of candidates. This sucks. The provincial list of candidates, this is like truly the most like French Restoration electoral system. This should prevent a list of candidates. The next administrative level should remove a third of the candidates, moving up a third. The next administrative level should remove the third of the final list, then be used to select council members who would serve the Wali for 2 years before new elections would be held. Wow, this is a terrible system. The new system would open up elections up to all Ottoman males aged 18 and above with the age of candidacy at 30. It's much more logical. Elected members will then directly serve in provincial assemblies. Some of the more progressive parliament members are requesting to extend the same rights to women, receiving great opposition from conservacy. This is an affront to Caliph and all Islam, supported for once in this by their Christian counterparts. Go screw. Oh dear. Ugh. Alright, Madan shelter criminals. The Madan, or marsh Arabs, who inhabit the marshes near the city of Basra have long been a thorn in the side of the central authority of the region, just as their marshalling home has been all but terra incognita for the Ottoman administration. Explorers who venture into their lands never return, and the Madan, who cooperate with outside authorities, often find themselves severely punished by local leaders in retaliation. The inhospitable nature of their marshes had, up until now, mostly ensured their autonomy and kept their political apathy towards the Ottoman regime, has kept them off the radar. Recent Assyrian damming and settlement projects made an effort to develop new agricultural land and flush out the Shiite resistance fighting. The Assyrian settlers have forced them to take a more active stance. Now the Marsh Arabs are not only sheltering fugitives from Assyrian operations, but those of the Baghdad Wali. The latter, angered by this development, has requested reinforcements from Constantine to bring them in line and impose taxes and conscription for the Ottoman army. This is in Basra. We can bring it up to medium. Sheikh Said ibn Maktoum disbands Dubai Majlis. After being forced to concede to the Dubai reform movement, agree with empowerment of the Majlis. Seems like real progress could have been achieved in Dubai, but these efforts seem to have been crushed, as only a few months after the creation, the Sheikh has crushed the movement with an iron fist. Matters had come to a head when the Majlis, under leader Hashir ibn Rashid, restricted the ruler to 10,000 rupees of state revenue for his personal use, and raised by the decision, the Sheikh formally disbanded the Majlis and decided to settle the area once for all, taking advantage of his son's wedding to Latifa bin Hamdan bint Hamdan of Abu Dhabi. Sayyid's loyal Bedouin, who were brought to town for the ceremony, drew their swords and proceeded to kill various high-ranking members of the Bani Rashid, amongst whom was the chairman of the Majlis. Crumbling apart during this catastrophe, the remainder of the reform movement spread to the Sheikhdom of Sharjah in the hopes of gaining the support of the Sheikh and returning to oust Sheikh Said. Tensions are rising in the Trucial Coast. Oh my gosh. This is proper scuffed. We have taken Belgrade without firing a shot. Excellent news. I keep trying to backcap these guys. Seriously. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? War on the Trucial Coast since the Red Wedding. Ha 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 ha. Tensions have been rising quickly between the Sheikdoms of Dubai and Sharjah, as those that escaped murder at the hands of Sayyid's tribesmen fled to Sharjah. Oh my gosh. In hopes of finding a benefactor for the cause. Finding a willing ally in Sheikh Sultan of Sharjah, the new leader of the reform movement, Mani ibn Rashid, has regained the movement, and the tribesmen of Sharjah quickly moved on to Sangar on the Dubai side of the Khan Creek. Oh my gosh. Faced with a fragile support base, Sheikh Said of Dubai decided to answer their act with an official declaration of war, sending his troops within 4 miles of Sharjah. The two camps quickly came to blows. In a traditional Bedouin style, however, the two sides exchanged inaccurate fire, preventing any degree of significant bloodshed. Well, the truce was signed only a few days later. Both sides had run out of ammo, leaving 1 Sharjah man killed and 2 Dubai men imprisoned. Since fighting had become impossible due to lack of material, both sides have agreed to a 3-month truce to await the next shipment of coming in from Iraq. Let's hope they'll soon sign peace. Serbia has capitulated. Let's go. Not great. Construction. Alright, well, we've capitulated these chumps. Basra. Let us surround und Skrunk these guys. Alright, treaty between... We did it! Whether this was a good thing, who could say? But the Romanians, the Greeks, and the Serbians have been crushed. We'd love to see it. still in 37. A better basic small airframe is probably a good idea. Alright, do I care about what happens in India? I don't really think so. I don't care that much. Yeah, not much value in this. Okay. Ooh, these don't do anything. We are... Huh. Huh, so we can hold snap elections if we want to. What the heck? Anyways. Let's see if we can get some support from... We can only do this twice. How is the manpower in some of these places? It's pretty good. I want to select a place where there is some unrest. It's very low here. So I'm going to loosen the tax burden. Gaining support from the conservatives. We have 15 supporters. All right, we have a ways to go, but I think this is our method. Look at how many places we can do it in. Either way, I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.